Yeah, it's kind of crazy that like it should be super interesting how everything goes the next 3 to 5 years between Hollywood and independent filmmakers and all the rest of us. Because I feel like any of these Hollywood productions could utilize any of these cameras that have come out in the past 2 years, and they would just, poop on everything that we say is capable or not of these cameras. They would just go and prove it like, no, that's, all these cameras are just fine. And it
Yeah.
all comes down to actual story and production and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, really, really exciting stuff. But it also makes all the upcoming gear a little bit boring too, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like back in, let's say, 2019, like I used to review a lot of cameras, and I would try to review every camera that would come out because each camera kind of had like a story. It's like, oh, this camera's really good, but it overheats. How do you overcome that? Or like the original
Mhm.
Pocket 4K was like, this camera is giving you the best image for sub $1,500 that you could possibly get, but the battery life is absolute trash and the file sizes are massive. And so it was like cameras used to have like quirks and things that made them unique and made them work for specific things. I feel like now gear has just gotten just like blanket good, and where like there's very little quirks here and there. Um, but I feel like we are still getting those moments. Like, for example, I look at the Pyxis. I know you have it, and I know you want to talk more about it. But like with the Pyxis, this is something that we have been asking for from Blackmagic for a while. You know what I mean? Like I think pretty much everybody can attest that like the Pocket 4K and 6K for their price points were insane cameras for the value. And like they gave you images that I'm not going to say rival like Alexa quality, but there was still that sort of look to it where you got like really creamy colors and a certain look to it that kind of would put you close to that edge. Now that we've got a
Mhm.
Pyxis that fixes the form factor issue, you said this is your new obsession. What about it has made it your new obsession?
Well, the first, I was in like a toxic group of, how we all are. We're all trying to tell each other, you need to go buy this, go buy that, and look at this. It was one of those groups before, gear was such a big conversation on YouTube. And they all talked me into starting to get into video. And I got the Blackmagic Pocket Camera 4K. And that led me into like my filmmaking career blew up within a year from that. And some of my best images are still from that time because that camera, I wasn't reliant on autofocus. I had that fresh perspective where I was like, it's like I need to capture the coolest images ever. And shooting it on Blackmagic Raw, it's the only thing that is close that you can closely compare to Red Raw, and within an affordable budget. So a lot of those images back then are still my best work. So my issue with that is though that camera was shaped like a football, and on a lot of those shoots, I'm like in the snow, I'm in the mud, I'm dodging horses, I'm like hiking through Montana, like a bunch of crazy stuff. That camera could not hold up to those elements. All the ports on the side, it was just a mess. So this solves all of that. And now it feels like the image quality actually has a proper body.
Mm.
And I'm excited because it seems like a lot of people are finally starting to, like, oh, the image quality looks crazy off the Pyxis. I'm like, it's always looked that good. You guys just never really paid attention to it too much. So I'm really excited for what Blackmagic's doing. And I think it's going to put a lot of pressure on the other companies to, um, you know, kind of try to give us stuff like this. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to say too much because I know of.
I know you know stuff, so I'll let you off the hook. I mean, I feel like anytime Blackmagic makes a big move like this, it does shake the industry. I don't know if I can say this publicly, but like I don't care at this point. When the FX3 first came out and Sony sent me one before it was like officially released, and we were on a call and they were like, going over the specs, like the NDA call. And one of the things they said was, this is basically our response to the pocket. Now, granted, it was still like,
Mm.
$3,500 or $38.99 or whatever it was when it first came out. And I was just like, it's not really a response because it's, 3 times the price, but the size, the form factor, focusing on a cinema camera for, entry-level videographers, that I think was really telling, because now that the Pyxis has come out and like Blackmagic obviously listened to what everybody was asking for, which was like, hey, give us a pocket, but put it in a easier to use form factor, something a little bit more usable. I can rig it. I can, it's more robust. And then even going as far as like at NAB, I know a lot of us who looked at it were like, this is really great, but like the screen being fixed on the side, it's kind of, extremely limiting. And then them coming out with their own monitor to sort of fix that issue without taking away your SDI port. It's like Blackmagic listens, they innovate, and then they move really quick. And I think that should push the rest of the industry to try to catch up. We won't say who's trying to catch up first, but we'll just say the rest of the industry is definitely trying to catch up.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah. I won't go there. So the side screen, I mean, there's still, I love the Sony FX3. There's no open gate. There's not a whole lot of anamorphic support. Operating it like you can on Blackmagic's, like their whole layout, their menu system.
Oh yeah,
it's a breeze. It's so intuitive. It's beautiful. So for me, the side screen, I do want to talk about this. So look at the Red Komodo X. No one's complaining about the screen on there. Why? It's because it's obviously in like an operating, operator's little screen, just so you can operate the camera.
Right.
Look at the Sony FX3. There is no screen on there. You got to use the dumb swivel out screen. And that's the reason I didn't keep the FX6. I bought the FX6 like 3 times now. Yeah. And every time, just like, I remember all my little gripes where I'm like, I just rather use the FX3 because I'm having to rig this out anyways. So that's all this is, people. This is not your little mirrorless camera flip out screen. This isn't made to, to shoot like this. This is purely to operate the camera. Blackmagic could have gave us half the screen size. They could have gave us a black and white screen. They kind of made it look like junk, but they gave us, a really good quality screen. So people hear hot takes and they just run off with it. Like, you guys have to start using stuff before you start screaming about some of this stuff. I do like, though, it is important that we speak up because, we did get that external monitor. And that basically makes this like a $3,000 like Red, I feel like this is like a full frame Komodo X, but not global shutter. Not global shutter. I know.
I'm like, maybe form factor, maybe. But yeah.
The way you can use it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The Red Komodo X, though, in the Red Komodo, I beat those cameras to hell, and those things are tanks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be as comfortable being as harsh with this. Like, there's multiple times where people are like, you're gonna put like a safety cable in there, you're gonna maybe bag it, or you're gonna, are you okay with that? I'm like, yeah, like, just let's run it. I trust the Komodo, like, just do it. Yeah. So this, I'd probably be a little bit more careful with it, just because who knows yet how robust it actually is.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out the Uncensored channel. Do us a huge favor. If you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to join us live every single Friday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have so much fun and we want you to be there. So subscribe so you don't miss it.